Thanks for tuning in to another episode of King Mighty King Media TV, and I'm your host, the double OG Guru of Boxing, Ted King. Ah, man, what a week for the Ukrainian boxing. The nation of Ukraine has a new, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world in Alexander Usyk. I'm telling you, this is going to be a small country with a stronghold on the boxing community. Boxing is back. Most definitely, boxing is back. I mean, you know what? I did several videos over this past week, even though it's not on the channel. But I was having some situations with some copyright issues. And so every time I put something up, it was a copyright. We did a long video on who was going to win the undercard for the Tyson Fury Alexander Usyk fight for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. And we did a complete undercard, and we did the picks on the undercard. However, it seemed as though we had some copyright issues, and I couldn't understand it, how we get copyright issues when I seen the same things being played on other channels. Well, these things happen. Obviously, the channel is starting to get a little bit bigger, and I understand that they want to have the face of the channel, which is mine. So, you know, it is what it is, right? So, but we had a fantastic week of boxing, and I have to say that Lomachenko has sort of turned back the hands of time in terms of his being one of the great boxers, pound for pound, fighting today. And I guess I have to say this also, that you know, Kambosos was pretty much tailor-made for a Lomachenko victory, in my opinion. George is a good fighter, but he lacked a few attributes that were going to warrant him a victory over the great Vasily Lomachenko. It didn't happen. As a matter of fact, he got stopped in the 11th round, but he was violent in his effort. And then, of course, moving on to the last week's fight. Oh, here's another thing, right? We had a lightweight, in the same division as Lomachenko, one of his countrymen decided that he was going to go ahead and shock the world and beat Navarrete for the lightweight IBF WBO championship. Let's Google this. Let's Google it. Make sure. The fighter who beat Navarrete for the lightweight championship of the world this weekend. A minute ago, who was the fighter who beat Navarrete over the weekend?
According to Sky Sports, Ukrainian Denis Berincic defeats Emmanuel Navarrete for WBO lightweight world title.
All right. Berincic, Ukrainian fighter. Okay. So now Lomachenko might. No, that's not going to happen. Lomachenko and Berincic will not fight each other. As a matter of fact, Lomachenko will probably be fighting. Who would it be? Won't be Tank Davis. I don't think. So I have to say he'll probably be fighting Shakur Stevenson. That's my belief. And so, but yeah, Lomachenko and listen, they're under top rank, so that should be an easy fight to make, and it's going to be a crowd-pleasing fight. Yeah, so I think that's probably the fight that they're going to be making. And then, of course, Berincic. I hope I'm saying that name right. I'm not going to edit this, okay? Listen, I did so much over the weekend of these videos, and the videos none of my videos copyright everywhere. So I'm like, I ain't doing these videos like that no more. I'm gonna talk, right? And it is what it is, right? Barincek, okay? Barincek is probably going to fight. I don't know if Tank Davis is gonna get past Frank Martin. To be honest with you, that fight right there is gonna be one that's good. Cause I did a video, and I might edit this video, in this video, edit the video I did back when I was talking about Frank Martin being a dog in there, and that Shakur Stevenson really didn't want none of Frank Martin, because I'm not sure that our man Tank is gonna get past Frank. The Tank gonna get past Frank. I don't know if it's gonna happen, okay? No, I don't know if it's gonna happen. So, Shakur Stevenson is the ring general of the lightweight division, and here's why. You'll see Shakur Stevenson in more rings after a fight calling out a fighter than anybody in boxing. But you have never seen him, for example, when you have a car for sale but you don't want to sell it, you never go out into places where you can find a buyer. For example, Shakur Stevenson, you have never seen him go into a ring calling out Frank the Ghost Martin. That's gonna be an interesting fight. I'm not sure he's gonna get past Frank, and so that was what we got to look forward to. That if Tank gets past Frank, now that's one that we'll have to take a look at, and if that does happen, it'll be available. Frank does not beat Tank. Tank wins the fight, then he would probably want the winner of Lomachenko and Stevenson, because I don't think my man Barincek, I don't think he only got 18 fights, 19 with the win over Navarrete. If that would be the case, that he would fight Tank, but that he might, because they figure that Barincek, might not have the experience to be the Tank Davis. But one thing about those European style boxers is in and out. They're moving all the time. They keep pressure and they're in and out. More pressure, in and out. More pressure, in and out. More pressure, in and out. That's non-stop, relentless, in and out pressure. So that's the style of the Ukrainian fighter. I guess that's a new European style for fighters. And so that's been giving a lot of people problems. Although it probably not, because the African American style fighters usually employ that in and out movement oftentimes, unless you run into George Foreman or a Joe Frazier type of fighter. Then you might not get that. But other than that, you probably going to get that same kind of in and out movement that the European style fighter is now using. So hey, it'd be an interesting fight to see. But listen, what we do know is that boxing is back. Yes, indeed, boxing is back for real. Now, I'm so disappointed. Again, I keep having to stress this situation with these doggone copyright situations. Because I don't want to be talking all the time. I don't want to be on these videos always talking, because it takes a long time for these videos to excuse me, let me put the light on, put some lighting on you. And I ain't editing nothing, okay? I'm telling you, I ain't gonna edit nothing. I'm gonna go ahead and look, freestyle. That's what I'm doing. Yeah, because it takes a long time. I put a lot of effort in these all this editing. And then of course, YouTube, copyright, So it's gonna be just me and you, camera. Okay, look. Now look. Now, as things is heating up, okay? Heating up in a big way because we still haven't got to the Crawford fight that's upcoming. And, that's a big card right there. Ooh, that August card? Ooh-wee. That's going to be big. And then again, we got the Usyk. Let's get back to that Usyk Fury fight. That Fury. And now, you know what? The video before that you see on my channel, I was talking about what Usyk was going to have to do to win the fight. Now, that didn't change. He put the pressure on, then he used that left to the body, hitting to the body, and then all of a sudden in the 9th round, he caught me with the left hand, okay? This is what I don't like to do. After the fight's all over, say who I'm going to win the fight. But I always give an implication as to who I think going to win the fight by talking about the fighter, who I think going to win the fight before the very first video. That's how you can always tell who my favorite fighter is, who I think going to win the fight. Because I always implement or talk about the fighter who, that's the indicator. That's the key. Every time I talk, I don't talk about who I think gonna lose the fight. I always talk first of who I think probability gonna win the fight. Certain things have to factor into the play, of course. But like, for example, they stumped me. Ooh-wee. They got me on that. They didn't really stump me because I was leaning toward Ryan Garcia before all that weird stuff happened. I'm thinking, well, if you fight for real, you got a good chance tonight. You look at the video. I say, if anybody gonna get knocked out, it would be Devin Haney. But anyway, listen. So that was that was too much. Okay, too much of everything. But let's get back to this upcoming fight in August. This is going to be a fighting extravaganza. I'm trying to keep up. I'm trying to catch up with all these videos, by the way. You probably can tell. I'm just trying to keep up, just kind of update you because I've been look. That Usyk fight, that card, spent a lot of time on that, okay? And it didn't work out. So I'm like, you know what? That will never happen again. So here we go. The Usyk fight, the rematch it's gonna happen. Trust and believe it's gonna happen. It's gonna be similar to the same thing, except for I think that the next fight out, Tyson Fury will be a lot more aggressive. He'll probably want to pack on a little bit more weight, like he did for that second Wilder fight, and try to steamroll Usyk, because Usyk was the aggressor this fight. So look forward to for Tyson Fury on the next one to be pack on some pounds. Now listen, all you got to do is pay attention. You're going to know what he's going to do. If Tyson Fury comes in like 107, 10 pounds, 15 pounds heavier than what he was. Okay, he came in at 160 something. So if he comes in 170, you know what he's going to do. Try to run him over like a train or a Mack truck or whatever he want to use the analogy of. That's what he's going to try to do, just run him over. And that's what the next rematch will probably look like. He came in pretty lean, as if he was going to do a lot of boxing, and that didn't work because Usyk was on top of him from the giddy up, okay? And stayed on top of him. He said he would not leave him alone, and that's exactly what happened. He did not leave Tyson Fury alone for 1 second. So that's what you got to look for the next fight. And if you got the next fight, if you pay attention to that weight situation on the next rematch, because there'll be a rematch, because Tyson Fury wants that rematch, because it's probably a trilogy, okay? And so if he wins, of course, if he loses, of course, there won't be no trilogy. But that's pretty much what, for the legacy of Tyson Fury, that's what he wants to do, because Tyson Fury's daddy, John Fury, is very instrumental in his attitude and the way he conducts himself when he goes ahead and goes to do these fights. So that's what you got to look forward to. Okay, so now look, I'm about done with this one. But I wanted to make sure we're gonna get some content out there, because we haven't had no content out there, and y'all probably think, well, what happened to him? And YouTube probably doing the same thing, because YouTube was probably trying to push the narrative, well, this is the next best boxing channel to come along, solo bolo, I mean, you got a lot of what's that show? I mean, I like the show too. Let me tell you, the show is called Pro Box. Yeah, Pro Box. Where they got a bunch of old, fighters who used to fight. Paulie Malignaggi. You know what I'm talking about. And you got Sean Porter's on there, because Sean Porter got his own show too. But several of these guys, but Pro Box, Pro Box. You got a couple people out there. And of course, they got a lot of people. They got a lot of views too, by the way. And so we ain't got like that. But I promise you, in about this time next year, we're going to be going around the world with these fighters in these different countries. And so stay tuned and pay attention. That's what's going to happen. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and say keep your hands up until the next one. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned. I'm out.